What's up, guys? LQ here with the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me here at my YouTube channel. This is where I talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that I love to talk about. Movies, video games, comic books, and TV shows. And right now I'm going to talk about Expedition X, Season 8, Episode 3. The focus on this episode is the Loch Ness Monster. Now, if you're someone like me who enjoys reading about cryptids, who enjoys watching these shows about them, and you know, I was fascinated by cryptids as a kid, right? What boy isn't fascinated by the Loch Ness Monster and Bigfoot? I don't know, I'm sure there's some, but I was fascinated by them. So when this episode came out and I saw it was about the Loch Ness Monster, I was like, yes! And there was some new evidence, right? Someone took a series of, I don't remember how many pictures, dozens, maybe more than that, of in sequence of something swimming through the loch. And looking at the pictures, it looks very compelling. It's gone through the authentication process where they say this, you know, they haven't been tampered with. These are legitimate pictures. But even watching it, I was thinking to myself, is that an animal or is that a wake or waves? You know, it wasn't clear. I think it looked like it was biological, but I just don't know. And there were even people in this episode who were like, listen, that looks like scuba diver bubbles. I love the experiment that they did to debunk that. I loved it, where Phil goes underwater and he blows up bubbles and they don't make nearly the disturbance that was caused on the surface in these pictures. So what was it? Who knows? Who knows? I mean, there's lots of big fish that live in the loch. There's lots of eels. Or maybe it's the Loch Ness Monster. We just don't really know. And as always happens in these episodes, they don't really come up with any conclusive answers as to what was in these pictures, as compelling as they are. What's interesting to me is that this legend is so old, and people have been seeing things in the loch for decades and decades and decades and decades. The first modern sighting was what, in like 1934 or something? But the sightings were even before that. And to have sightings that long, that means that there must be a breeding population, which means that there must be a lot of them. If playing, you know, devil's advocate here, pretending that this is a real thing, there must be a lot of them. So where are they? In this episode, they do, you know, talk about the cave systems that this thing might live in. Again, nothing really established here. So what's frustrating about the Loch Ness Monster and all these expeditions that they take is there's questions but no answers. And that's really the moral of the story on this episode, is there's questions, but there's no answers. So was it a good episode? Yeah, it was a good episode because I love Loch Ness Monster content. But was it an episode that really yielded any new information? No, not really. I would love it if they went back and did the Loch Ness again, because I love Loch Ness Monster content. But again, it just didn't yield anything new. So, mixed feelings on this episode, but I enjoyed it because of the content that they were covering. Still miss Jess. I don't think Heather quite has the same Jess energy. Maybe she'll grow on me. Who knows? But, it was an okay episode. Alright guys, Expedition X, Season 8, Episode 3. What did you think of it? Let me know in the comments below. Do you think that those pictures were of the Loch Ness Monster? Or do you think there's a natural explanation to them? Let me know what you think. While you're down there commenting, subscribe to my channel. And until next time, we'll see you guys later.